everyone, what's up? It is me, Micah. It is October 20 today. It is 9:44 p.m. and we are about to go to bed already, which is crazy. So just a little background. Dad, tell them, what time did we used to go to bed before?
3.
Hello? Grabe naman yung 3.
2?
2, oo nga.
One.
Pero like, we're here sa bedroom. 12.
12, yeah.
Right?
Or 11.
And now it's 9:44 and we're getting ready to sleep. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Good night.
Go. Come on.
Let's go.
Oh. After Adrian leaves for work, yung ginagawa ko talaga is I read the Screwtape Letters by C.S. Lewis. I decided not to hurriedly read this book like a regular novel just because I feel like it really needs my full attention and for me to be able to meditate on it. Alam niyo, sobrang galing the way that the Screwtape Letters was written by C.S. Lewis. Kasi it's written the perspective of Screwtape. Screwtape is like a commander or someone who is of high position that works under the enemy or the devil, and he's writing to his nephew named Wormwood, who also works for the enemy but who is of lower rank. So si Screwtape, binibigyan si Wormwood ng mga tips on how to be a better tempter, or basically how to win a soul of a human being, because ultimately yung kalaban nila is si God. But I get so excited kasi parang every time I read it, it's like a chance for me to know the schemes of the enemy. I feel like every time we talk about temptation, we always think na it's something that the enemy is inculcating into our heads, into our thoughts, in our heart. But there's an excerpt from this book that super changed my perspective. So it says here in chapter 4, "It is funny how mortals always picture us as putting things into their minds. In reality, our best work is done by keeping things out." I really never thought about it that way. Kasi every time iniisip ko kung paano mag-work yung enemy sa buhay natin, meron siyang parating binibigay sa atin that's like so good and difficult for us to say no to, and that it will really take all of our willpower through the strength that God gives us in order for us to walk away from it. That's always how I think that the enemy works. If not like that, then he throws something super bad to keep us off balance and shake our foundation, which is supposed to be in Christ. However, it does make so much more sense. But it's less about what he puts into our minds, more so distracting us in order for us not to see clearly. Siguro medyo nagtataka kayo, no, na bakit papalit-palit ako ng damit. That's because I have this new thing now. So, kailangan iba yung suot ko pag nagluluto and throughout the day, which is, I plan na ito na lang yun kasi hindi ko ito nasusuot. Pag natutulog ako, medyo naiilang ako sa kanya. And then, meron din akong ibang outfit na pangtulog ko lang. Para rin sure ako na yung damit na sinusuot ko to bed is clean. Anyway, I really wanted to give you guys a little bit of a life update. Siguro nakita nyo naman kanina, that's not how our usual morning routine goes, right? I remember that recently I filmed like my daily routine, like getting ready for changes, because that was our routine prior to what we have now. Honestly, medyo mahirap siya. It's been a little bit challenging. I'm getting emotional. So Adrian actually just got a new job and we're so thankful for it. It is such a blessing and he is so challenged. He really wants to give the best that he can. Every time he comes home, parang he tells me about like his new discoveries and how he wants to get better, and I'm just so proud of how far he has gone from where he came from. Speaking of that, he actually came from a family business. So he worked directly with his parents, meaning hawak niya talaga yung time niya. If he needed time with me, if he needed time na ihatid ako sa hosting gig ko or to my events and whatnot, he will be able to do that. But now, we really needed to adjust. Although he still works for the family, it's a completely different setup. It's much more corporate and it requires a lot of self-discipline, not just for him, but for me as well. So yung schedule niya is 7 to 5, meaning he leaves the house at 6 a.m. and then he comes home at around 6 a.m. as well. And sobrang naninibago, parehas kami. I mean, lalo na siya kasi mas iba yung adjustment na kailangan niyang gawin, mas drastic definitely. For me naman, here at home, which is what I'm going to focus on and talk about, I definitely get a little bit lonely sometimes. Even though I have a lot to do, I think I'm just really used to, like before, having my family around, like their presence. And syempre, like I really miss Adrian, and he works from Mondays to Saturdays in the time frame that I mentioned. So I really have moments where like I'm just waiting for him to come home. Like I cannot wait for him to come home. Kasi syempre, alam mo yun, wala naman ako kausap throughout the day. Tapos kapag nag-edit pa ako, pagmumukha ko yung in-edit ko. Not that I'm complaining, you know, I still love my job and I want to continue doing this for however long God presents the opportunity to me. But yeah, ayun, I think it's such a huge adjustment. There are those moments where I do feel a little bit lonely, not having anyone around and not having anyone to talk to. However, despite the heaviness that I just threw at you guys, I do believe that God is stretching us for a very specific reason. I may not know what that is just yet, but if there's one thing that I know for sure, one of the reasons why God is making us go through this season of great stretching in our relationship and as individuals is because He wants us to break bad habits. Grabe yung bad habits namin dati, and we didn't even know that they were bad and they were toxic to us. Like before, at the beginning of this video, I told you we used to sleep at like 2 a.m. sometimes 3 a.m. depending on our mood. Mostly like 2 a.m. talaga. And then we go to bed 12. We'd watch a movie or a series until 2, sleep at 2, and wake up at 10 in the morning. And because we had like an abundance of time spent with each other, we'd usually just be on our phones, and I'd feel so disconnected from him. And I'm not sure if Adrian is as observant as I am, but we did talk about how our phones kind of bring disconnection because we are together physically, but mentally we're not really communicating. Like emotionally we're not really there. Coming into this new season, God really broke that habit because the moment we wake up, we have to start serving each other. Like Adrian has to get ready, I have to prepare for him. In the past, that's the first thing both of us would do, pick up our phones. And apart from that, because we only have a few hours together in a day, sobrang mas naging intentional kami about how we spend our time. Dati, we would just again mindlessly scroll through social media, cuddle each other, but be on our phones. It was a weird setup, I think, because again we had so much time at our disposal, and now we intentionally make time to talk about our day and discuss our thoughts and just share every random thing that is in our minds. There are really certain lessons that only experience can teach you. I guess I can say that in spite of how difficult things may be, I am truly grateful to God for the wisdom that He is instilling in both of us and how to be better stewards of our time. We forget that time is a blessing to us. It is a blessing from God. In fact, it's not something that you can gain back, unlike your finances. I'm much wiser about how I handle my work time, and I'm also so much more productive. Anyway, that is it for my life update. I'm definitely gonna have more vlogs like this where I just sit down and talk to you guys about life. So I would love to know a bit about your lives as well. How's it been for you? How has this pandemic been treating you? Just comment that below. Let's have a little chat.
Chatting in a coffee shop, sitting by the windowsill, walking down 8th Avenue with you. Our fingers touching the light, you pull back blush and delight. Call me when you get back home. Meet me at Manhattan Henge, meet me under Columbus Circle. I'll be waiting there for you.
I love how my husband asked me out on a date to buy him underwear. He's like, do you want to go out later? And I'm like, oh, sure. First, we buy briefs and then we can eat out. Kawawa naman. He's been complaining about that. Hi.
Illuminated by flashing signs, you take my hand.
I don't
and
like
you
the
pull
bottom. Nice joggers. Yeah,
What
no.
else disappear? Meet me at Manhattan Henge, meet me under Columbus Circle.
Finally.
Meet me when the stars align.
I literally thought this was food. So we have here the ABC rolls, tomato soup. Hindi po ito galing sa telepono. This is from, where is this from, love?
It's Japanese, legit Japanese restaurant.
Yeah, yum, yum. How was your day? Tell them. Because I'm closing na this vlog.
Like a weekend, but it's not.
After namin kumain ng dinner, nag-drive-through sa McDonald's.
They've been
This is his drink before going to bed.
What do you call this?
I was just talking about how, you
Laging
know, we're
traffic
living a
sa
more healthy
drive-thru.
life.
Well,
And then
at
you-
least we're sleeping earlier.
At least.
Wait, ngayon
But
na lang
I'm
ulit
drinking.
ako ng
I know.
Coke,
I know, yeah. You don't even drink Coke.
Yeah.
You do drink soda, lot.
That's at least, that's soda.
Anyway, we are going to watch the last episode of You Season 3. Not so much my type, no? Parang OA na.
Yeah, and also it's not for...
I definitely would
I
not
don't
recommend that show.
People watching it.
Yeah. Parang, it's just that sinimulan namin. So, parang, you know
It's
what?
toxic.
Might as well end it. Sobrang toxic niya.
Pero kasi hindi siya parang nung the previous 2 episodes.
Sobrang hindi. Ang layo.
Parang sobrang lala.
Lahat in-intensify nila, no?
Yeah.
Everything's to its extreme.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching this vlog.
Bye!
Bye, guys!